It could happen today. What's going on, NFL fans? My name is Trace Moustakas. You can call me Moose. Welcome into NFL Daily. The very last day of free agency is kind of upon us, and we did get an early report that Cooper Kupp is expected to make his decision on who he is signing with today. Big stuff happening. I was working out this morning at about 6 a.m. when I got the notification from Diana Rossini, who said this: Cooper Kupp's asking price has been a holdup for a number of interested teams, per sources. Some suitors have not been willing to offer Kupp a $13 to $14 million contract, but he is expected to sign today. Now, you're probably thinking, who are the finalists in the Cooper Kupp sweepstakes? Well, it's very simple. The three teams that have been the most reported have been the Seattle Seahawks, the Dallas Cowboys, and most recently, out of left field, the New Orleans Saints. Now, each one of these teams have different reasons why they would want Kupp. All of them have wide receiver needs. But Seattle has the most cap space to do it, and they got a brand new quarterback. Dallas is the biggest brand, obviously, and the Saints, they just need all kinds of help wherever they can get it. They need star power. Now, Kupp's asking price is currently $13 to $14 million. A lot of teams believe he's not worth that. Now, I'm in the ballpark of maybe he's not worth that, but that's what he's going to end up getting because teams every single year overpay for players that have big names that have kind of declined in production. Now, where does that fall in terms of the highest paid wide receivers? Kind of in that 20 to 25 range. Jerry Jeudy comes in at 17.5. Then the drop-off is big to Cortland Sutton at 13.75. Khalil Shakir comes in at 13.25, and Gabe Davis rounds out at 13. So if Kupp were able to get $13 million, he would fall right between 24 and 25. If he got up to 14, he'd fall at number 22. So again, for a guy that was a Triple Crown winner in 2021, you might look at it and go, well, I would give him $14 million on the spot. But if you notice, in 2022 through 2024, one glaring thing stands out to me. He has not had a full season in any of those years. 9 games played, 12 games played, 12 games played. So his injuries are preventing him from continually putting up great seasons. Now, again, are we going to see the exact same 2021 Triple Crown winning Cooper Kupp? No, we're not. Get it out of your head right now. It's not going to happen. Could you see a 65 reception, 750 to 800 yards, 5 or 6 touchdowns? I think any one of these three teams right here would sign up for that on the spot. Dallas for sure would because they already have their number one wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb. But I don't think he's going to Dallas, and I don't think he wants to play for the Saints. That leaves one team, the Seattle Seahawks. And the more I say it out loud, the more it just makes sense. He's from Washington, first of all. Secondly, brand new quarterback in Sam Darnold. They've traded away the headache that is DK Metcalf. They've got a number one wide receiver in Jackson Smith-Njigba. Cooper Kupp could come in, play the slot, and be that solid number 2. And that's where he's most comfortable. You shift JSN out to the outside, let him play the X, have him be your primary dominant receiver, and then the drag routes across the middle of the field, the off the line of scrimmage plays, maybe a couple of jet sweeps. Cooper Kupp still has some athleticism left in him. Why not? It is a perfect fit, and they've got the cap space to do it. So if they've got the money, it's a good fit with a brand new quarterback, and he's from Washington. It almost sounds like a done deal to me. But I'm not one of these NFL analysts that can just give you my opinion. That's just about it. So I'm going to ask you this. Who does Cooper Kupp play for in 2025? You guys already know my answer. It's the Seattle Seahawks. But if you have another team, I want to know why you think he would play for that team. Put it down in the comment section below. Now, before we get on to any more major NFL rumors before free agency ends, we have to give a major shout out to our sponsor of today's video, and that is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the number one place to get real sports and real money action. Join over 10 million members and sign up today. The game is just way more fun with Prize Picks. You can head on over right now. Go ahead and download it in your app store. It is completely free. It's a purple P with a black box. And use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even need to win to receive that $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Remember, sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. Use code CLNS and get that money in your account in as little as just 15 minutes. I cannot stress to you guys how simple it actually is. Prize Picks, run your game. All right, so I know we've talked a lot about him. It's just the fact that every single morning, every single day, we seem to have even more reports about this guy. So this morning, again, working out, home gym, get the drop from Diana Rossini that Cooper Kupp is expected to sign today. But then she drops this as well. She says that the Minnesota Vikings are in for Aaron Rodgers. Now, I look at this and I say, why? Isn't he aware of the Brett Favre narrative? Brett Favre starts his career in Green Bay, goes to the Jets, plays okay, not well enough to get a second contract. Then he goes to Minnesota, lights it up for a couple of seasons, and then retires. Is that what we're expecting from Aaron Rodgers? Because the reports indicate that he is interested in playing for the Minnesota Vikings. So if you look at his last season, the first half of the year was horrendous. Laughingstock, joke of the NFL. The second half of the season, he starts to pick it up a little bit. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, maybe not the best fit for the Jets anymore, but there is another team that could vie for his services. Now, he's not the same player that he was in Green Bay, not the all-world quarterback that we know him to be, but he still does have some strengths. He's got a lightning-quick release. He's got good field vision. And his arm strength is good, not great. It used to be one of the best in the NFL. Now I would say it's top 15. It's still good enough, though, at 41 years of age. And speaking of his age, that's one of his weaknesses. So he's 41 years old. He's got declining mobility, can't get outside of the pocket, especially after that nasty Achilles injury. He's just not the same in terms of his athleticism that he once was when he was in his younger 30s. And every single year, we've got the same issue with Aaron Rodgers. Off the field, am I going to play? Who am I going to play for? Am I going to retire? Going to go on Pat McAfee to announce my decision. There's always off-the-field drama with Aaron Rodgers. And so for those reasons, it's an awful fit in Minnesota. They've got a strictly business-as-usual head coach in Kevin O'Connell, who is the quarterback whisperer. So he's in the development stage and like, hey, you fit well in my scheme. I don't fit well in yours. Well, call me crazy. Aaron Rodgers has never been the type of quarterback that takes well to hard coaching. He does what he does. He likes the way that he plays, and he's going to do his own thing, and you're going to have to learn to live with it. Plus, the Minnesota Vikings fans, just from a fan perspective, I know because I have been a big NFC North guy my entire life, they hate Aaron Rodgers. They don't want this to happen. So it's a bad fit in Minnesota. Where's the right fit? Pittsburgh Steelers. And the reason is, I alluded to this in my other video, Mike Tomlin is a defensive-minded head coach. So he's going to let Aaron Rodgers do Aaron Rodgers' thing. He's going to solely focus on the defense. They're a run-first offense. Najee Harris is out of the building. Now you have Jaylen Warren, who's going to make some serious head waves in the backfield. You've got two brand-new dynamic receivers in DK Metcalf and George Pickens on the outside. Aaron Rodgers is still great in the play-action game. So Aaron Rodgers with a strong run game, two dynamic receivers, a defensive-minded head coach where he kind of gets free reign to play quarterback the way he wants, sounds like the perfect fit for him. We just have to wait for him to get off of the beach and actually into a report where he says, hey, I am playing for X team. And I think it's going to be the Steelers. Now, I did want to bring up one final little news nugget for you. Maybe not necessarily a news nugget, like a rumor nugget more so. Nick Chubb is still on the free agency market, and I was scrolling over the top free agents still available, and I came across his name, and I'm like, God, I have not used the name Nick Chubb in a sentence in probably a full year. Now, that's sad because he's been plagued with all these awful injuries in the last couple of seasons. I mean, if you take a look at his last 4 years, 2 games played, 8 games played. So the last 2 years, he's been sidelined by some really nasty bugs. But in 2022 and in 2021, he was on a short list of the best running backs in the NFL, which is why I believe he's still got some juice into the tank and could be an under-the-radar signing. I'm not saying he's even going to give you like half of what that production would be, but for running back needy teams, Nick Chubb would be a very sneaky good signing for a lot of teams. I know one particular team that I'm a big fan of, the Chicago Bears, could probably use a player like Chubb if they decide to not go running back in the draft. DeAndre Swift isn't going to be your primary back. So how about a rotational unit of Nick Chubb and DeAndre Swift? One's a down the field or downhill running back, power, strong legs, low center of gravity, and one is more open space and can do a lot more in the pass game. It's the perfect thunder and lightning combo. So I think that Nick Chubb is probably my favorite under-the-radar signing out of all the free agents that are still left. But I'm going to ask you this. Who's your biggest under-the-radar signing in free agency? It could be a guy that has not been signed yet, or it could be a guy that has already signed it. If so, which team does he play for, and why is he under the radar? That is going to do it for us today on NFL Daily. Remember to subscribe. Get into the comments of today's video. I want to see at least 100 replies to the pinned comment. And always like the video. My name is Moose. We'll see you next time.